Yes, indeed. Even though the Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S are doing extremely well, a lot of people are wondering where the games are. Yes, that is a fair assessment and one that I totally back. I think that Microsoft has continually dropped the ball from the first party, but I thought so years ago. It's so funny to me that so many people are only now kind of catching up to what's going on and what I've been saying back in 2018, which was, point frank, there wasn't going to be any first-party new games until 2023, right? I said 2023, and everybody knows it. And again, I've come to accept that they did release Forza Horizon 5, Halo, some multiplats from their first party like Psychonauts 2. Decent stuff, of course. Obviously, we're all waiting for the big things like Fable, Valve, and we're waiting for other games that are going to come out like Starfield, new things, Contraband. We want to see these new games, no doubt. But now there is a leak, and it sounds pretty impressive with what Microsoft is going to have to offer. And it looks like we might not have to wait long to get it. It looks like something we're going to be seeing this year. And I think that comes just in time. Listen, I'm the first person to admit that Microsoft needs games. Listen, it's just 100% factual at this particular point. Microsoft has dropped the ball. They continue to, mystify me with what they're doing. I don't understand it, but at the end of the day, I feel like, hey, it ain't up for me to understand, and it's really kind of up for everybody else to kind of them to work out what they want from Microsoft. Like for me personally, listen, it just kind of is what it is. I'm not really one way or the other. I'll always find something to game on, and the fact that so many people kind of think one way or the other about these things, I just, to me, it doesn't make sense to kind of, be pissed off anymore, right? Like I've already kind of been over that. So I always say, it is what it is, and let's move on to the other things. But anyway, this bit of information, it looks like, at least for someone like me, this is going to be a pretty big announcement. There's a couple things I want to get into. According to this, we might get a Gears of War collection this year, in fact, which you might go, oh, well, that's not good. I can hear it now. The PlayStation fans, now you guys like remasters, right? Well, listen, I just want to point out, for me, somebody who loves the first 3 Gears of Wars, and none of those multiplayers are actually active right now. So yeah, a remastered or remade Gears of War 2 or 3 multiplayer would be absolutely tremendous. So according to this, an insider talked about the many rumored projects during a recent podcast. I'm going to link this and you guys can check it out. Talked about stuff like Mafia 4 and a Microsoft franchise getting the Halo Master Chief Collection treatment, which is supposedly Gears of War. To be fair, he said so much as the same in January, but this time he added that the collection might be coming this year. Also, they heavily hinted at a franchise being Gears of War when he uttered the following statement. If you go from November 21st or 2021 to November 2022 and you look at Microsoft's big game output, it could wind up being Halo, Gears, Forza. Obviously, while Halo Infinite dropped in November 2021 and the new Forza Motorsport is expected to drop this fall, there is no known Gears game in development, and we certainly aren't getting a brand new title this year. Still, a remastered could certainly happen. Gears of War developer The Coalition recently confirmed to have switched to Unreal Engine 5 over a year ago, and that's around the same time GameSpeak journalist Jeff Grubb said the studio was taking on a smaller scale side project to get acquainted with the new engine. A Gears of War remastered collection would certainly qualify. The franchise already get an ultimate edition of the first installment, and you know what? Listen, I think I would be the first to say I can't wait to see more from this. A collection could also bring Gears of War 2, 3, and Judgment back to the forefront, where these games would be looking better than ever, and obviously the multiplayer as well. Unlike the more recent Gears of War 4 and Gears of War 5 and Gears Tactics. If this collection is indeed coming to Xbox this year, chances are we should learn about it at the upcoming Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase on June 12th. Now listen, I get it that it's not a huge deal, it's not the big new exclusive that people wanted, but I still think it's important. Trust me when I say nobody's happy about delays coming from Microsoft right now. I think we're all pretty much annoyed by them, but there's so much on the cusp. We're so close to greatness. We are. I know people have heard, they'll say we heard the same thing 5 years ago. Well, 5 years ago they had 5 studios. We were all stupid back then. We learn, we grow, we kind of think differently, and I think most of us are kind of at that point right now. Even when you see other YouTubers who are notoriously, like to cover up for Microsoft's misgivings and transgressions, they're even admitted as much. It's like, I don't understand why it was I was a fearmonger and I hated Xbox and all this stuff supposedly years ago when I said 2023, and now it's like people are finally resigning themselves to the fact that it looks to be accurate. Now, the other thing that looks like is we're going to see is that I think is really cool, actually. I thought this was a really cool thing that leaked out, and that is the fact that they might let you create your own dynamic Xbox background themes for Windows and consoles. So, Wallpaper Engine is a popular Steam project that lets users create animated backgrounds for use on Windows, and according to a well-connected Twitter account, Microsoft may be building its own similar program. According to a longtime Microsoft leakster, well-versed in unannounced upcoming Windows, Surface, Lumia, and Xbox products, recently they revealed that Microsoft had a mysterious unnamed project app in development, and they have since managed to break into it to offer a glimpse of what it actually has to offer. Unnamed Project seems to be the system that allows users to animate backgrounds with custom effects, and the tutorial seems to describe up to 8 custom concurrent effects that can appear on a timeline of sorts. While it also allows you to upload custom assets, it can be as though it gives users a generous array of tools to customize and animate wallpapers, both on consoles and Windows PC. They've actually seen similar apps like this appear in the past and ultimately never made it into the public domain. Microsoft often tests internal projects and receives, feedback on these things, and sometimes they decide not to actually launch them. They either get shelved or simply as a result of, different things going on, they never come to fruition. This tool may also be intended for developers and license holders to use, rather than the general public, so that Microsoft can make it easier for their game publisher partners to produce content for the consoles rather than variety of Xbox dynamic background themes. The Xbox dashboard has been the focus of a thong of negative feedback in recent months, with users clamoring for a more streamlined dashboard that indeed showcases more of those dynamic themes. Users have also asked for more customization in general, and perhaps this is the first sign of new options that users can look forward to for tailoring their experience on Xbox Series X and S consoles. And there's also, of course, the possibility that this stuff might never launch at all. So yeah, there is that as well. So we do have that to kind of take into our expectations. So keep everything sort of in check, I would say. And who knows? Like, Microsoft has a tendency to, sometimes they'll have these amazing things that they do, and sometimes they don't. And I think that that's one of the things that, unfortunately, realistically, us as fans kind of have to look back and make Microsoft realize that, hey, we need to see some of these different things, and you know what? Hey, they more times than not do listen, and I think that we're going to see some incredible features added to the Xbox sooner rather than later. Personally, I would love to see some kind of upload studio again. I thought it was really cool being able to upload your clips right up to YouTube or wherever, or Twitter, and have some decent editing done, and I think that that's something that Microsoft should indeed bring back, and I know a lot of people also feel the same way. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you do watch and enjoy the video, please leave a like, as a like helps the video to be seen and helps the channel to grow. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crap Gamer 'em up. Thank you so much for watching. Crap Gamer out.